The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Midmorning. A Lexington family is without a place to stay following a costly accident that has led to their apartment catching fire.
A woman indicted for a deadly Lexington crash has now been arrested when she's expected in court just ahead.
And a former UK basketball star, a Wildcat, had a huge night to start out a new NBA season. We'll look at Anthony Davis's impressive stat line. That and your forecast just ahead.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning, and it's so good to have you here with us on this Thursday at Midmorning. A little hairspray there. I'm Bill Bryant.
I am so sorry. Just a little last spritz there.
I understand.
I apologize. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay, because I have water here. I can
you.
take care of you. You know, this morning I heard Micah describing the weather as looking sort of Halloween-ish, and I said, what does he mean by that? Well, when I went outside, I understand it's kind of a gray start to the day.
Strange. It was dark until quite late this morning. We have those clouds still out there this morning. Let's check in with Micah because improvements are coming.
Oh,
yeah, it's all the way over
there. It got
there.
over here, too.
Stop it.
Jeez,
Stop it.
Chill out with the hairspray this morning. All right, let's look outside, see what's going on. We do have the rain flying across the region. Some of this really across the mountain. Parkway and 64 over toward eastern Kentucky. Bill, you going to be okay, big guy? I got you, buddy. I feel your pain. Down toward the south, 127-27, sliding eastbound. None of this is heavy stuff. It's very light, and temperatures there in the 60s at this moment. We'll finish off there in the mid-60s later on this afternoon. So the rain chance is here, but it does move on out as we go through the day. We'll talk about your weekend forecast because your weekend looks phenomenal. I'll have that coming up.
Okay, we'll see you in just a bit. Thank you.
A fire at a Lexington apartment complex is being blamed on a costly accident.
That fire started about 9 o'clock last night at a complex on Loch Ness Drive that's near East Reynolds Road. Firefighters say kids playing with a lighter accidentally started the fire. Crews say it started in the lower apartment and then spread to the apartment above. No one was injured, but one family has been forced to find another place to stay due to the damage.
Lexington police are still looking for the driver who left the scene of a fiery crash. It happened around 3:45 this morning on New Circle Road between Leestown Road and Old Frankfort Pike. Police say one car rear-ended another and the car that caused the crash caught on fire. Police are looking for the driver responsible.
A different overnight crash ended with a driver being taken to jail. A box truck flipped overnight on I-64 in the eastbound lanes near Midway. The driver was not hurt, but was arrested.
We're tracking a crime alert after an overnight robbery. A man told police he was walking through Coolivin Park near West 6th Street when a man jumped him. The victim was cut with a pocket knife and was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
New this mid-morning, state police say a Central Kentucky man is accused of trying to run over a police officer. The Richmond Register reports Timothy Hoskins of Irvin is facing several charges, including attempted murder of a police officer. Last week, police say an officer found Hoskins passed out in his car on Crooked Creek Road. Once Hoskins woke up, police say he took off and nearly ran over the officer in the process. The officer was not injured. Police eventually caught up to Hoskins. They arrested him at a nearby gas station.
Police say a woman indicted for a deadly Lexington crash earlier this week has now been arrested. Crystal Chaffins is charged with 2 counts of manslaughter, possession of cocaine, and driving under the influence. She's charged in a December 2015 crash on Versailles Road that killed Joseph and Cynthia Beamer. Chaffins will appear before a Fayette County judge tomorrow morning. Well, scary moments for a Louisville grandmother. 2 men stole her car while her 3-year-old grandchild was inside.
Can you imagine? Louisville police say 18-year-old Derek Murphy and a 17-year-old boy stole the car from a convenience store parking lot. Police say the 2 suspects likely didn't realize there was a toddler in the back seat when they took off with the car. They say the 2 took it while the child's grandmother was inside the store.
She came over here and play lottery, and she left her baby in the car. And a couple of guys come over across the street and took her car and left.
When the two realized the child was in the car, they dropped him off across the street before eventually leaving the car. That's when police caught up with them, and Murphy is facing multiple charges, including wanton endangerment of the 3-year-old boy. Now, according to police, the 17-year-old charged is tied to another stolen car case in that same area.
The family of a missing Fort Campbell soldier is pleading for answers in the case this morning. Investigators say Private First Class Shadow McClain has not been seen since September 2nd. They say her car was found in downtown Nashville, but there haven't been any other clues. The Army says McClain worked as an air traffic control tower operator. Investigators say 2 persons of interest, both Fort Campbell soldiers, are in custody this morning.
We've learned some more about human remains found in the Kentucky River. Lexington police and firefighters and the Fayette County coroner spent the day yesterday searching near the Valley View Ferry. They say bones were found in a submerged car in the river over the weekend. And after sweeping the river floor, they found more bones. Fayette County coroner Gary Ginn says he thinks the bones are from a foot or ankle. He says the remains are now being tested by a forensic anthropologist in Tennessee.
Well, if you're driving on the Mountain Parkway in Magoffin County this morning, expect to see some changes. State transportation officials say a new bridge is now open over Highway 30. 3 new ramps leading to and from Highway 30, which is exit 72, are also open. Road crews have shifted both eastbound and westbound traffic to new lanes between exits 72 and 75. The Mountain Parkway is being extended to Prestonsburg.
It's going to make a big difference in that area.
Some big changes there.
Recovery efforts are underway here at Midmorning after powerful aftershocks rattled central Italy Wednesday. It's the same region where a massive earthquake killed nearly 300 people in August.
Now, there are no reports of casualties and few serious injuries, but there is extensive damage to buildings and hundreds of people are out of their homes. Hannah Daniels has the latest.
Small tremors are still being felt in central Italy this morning. In Miso, you see this building shake while recovery crews were assessing the damage. The strongest aftershocks hit last night, about 100 miles northeast of Rome, reducing this 15th century church to rubble, knocking out power and sending panicked residents running from their homes onto rain-drenched streets. First responders used flashlights to navigate through the darkness, helping people to makeshift shelters, many too afraid to stay inside their homes overnight. This man says it was something I can't even begin to describe. We were really scared. Everything started to shake and things started falling down on us. In the town of Usita, the mayor called the earthquake apocalyptic, telling local media there are buildings behind the square. All the buildings were damaged, badly damaged. About 60 aftershocks in all shook the mountainous area of Umbria yesterday. It's the same region where an earthquake killed nearly 300 people just 2 months ago. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Apple is dealing with a major setback with one of its newest products. The tech company says the release of its AirPod wireless earbuds for the iPhone 7, well, that's being delayed now. Apple unveiled the wireless earbuds in September, but the company says it needs a little more time to get them ready for sale.
All right, get it right before it gets on the market. Well, the World Series matchup between the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians is now tied at 1 game apiece. Cubs starting pitcher Jake Arrieta and slugger Kyle Schwarber, who underwent, by the way, major knee surgery earlier this year, led the team to a 5-1 win over the Indians yesterday. Game 3 will take place tomorrow night, and that one will be at Wrigley Field.
Well, it was opening night for many former UK Wildcats in the NBA, and Anthony Davis had a historic night. Davis scored 50 points, pulled down 16 rebounds, had 7 steals, 5 assists, and 4 blocks. That stat line has never been recorded in an NBA game. Now, unfortunately, Davis's New Orleans Pelicans still lost to the Denver Nuggets, 107-102. Davis played just 1 year at Kentucky and was the #1 overall pick in the 2012 NBA draft. I think people remember that. What a night for him.
And now we know why, right? Yeah,
Incredible.
That's great. Yeah, going in the history books.
But they still lost.
I know.
Go figure.
Isn't that wild? All right, of course, we treasure our racehorses here in the Bluegrass, no doubt about that. And now another Kentucky Derby winner will soon be retiring to a Scott County farm.
Officials at Old Friends say 1999 Derby winner Charismatic will come live there in about a month. The 20-year-old horse has spent the last several years in Japan. His journey back to Kentucky is sponsored in part by a gift from his former owners through the Robert and Beverly Lewis Family Foundation. Charismatic will join 1997 Derby winner Silver Charm and 2002 winner War Emblem as past Derby winners calling old friends home.
All the stories they can tell,
Yeah,
right?
it's always nice to see him coming back home,
Oh, it really is. It's really neat. All right, glad to have you with us this Thursday.
And we hope you'll keep it right here this mid-morning. A man's Halloween costume is getting some major attention on social media.
You might say it's smoking, huh? See why his homemade wardrobe is going up in smoke? That's coming up after Micah's weather.
We have a few showers out there this morning, but let me tell you this afternoon, it starts to fade just a bit. Cooler air dives on in here. I'll show you how chilly we get, and also looking at that weekend forecast, it gets really warm. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a little rain outside early this morning. We had some move through early. I mean, right as we got into work. And now still some leftover, kind of the back end of this is now making its way through as we speak. Let's zoom on in. Let me show you where it is and where it's moving. Down the Mountain Parkway, remember, not a lot of this is actually good rain. I mean, it's just some very light stuff passing on through. See that in Frenchburg, Menifee County, back toward Elliott, and also Morgan County, West Liberty getting a nice little shower as we speak. Sliding off into that 460 area as you roll through, say, northern McGoffin and also Johnson. Still bits and pieces back toward the west, so you guys aren't over with just yet. Danville, more than likely, that was the best chance of rain that you have all day. So now it's moved on past you. Stanford getting in on the mix. Go down 150, Crab Orchard, Mount Vernon, you're going to be next in line. Crab Orchard, another 5-10 minutes. And then Mount Vernon, I'd say another 20 minutes or so, maybe 30 at max. But for the most part, remember, this is just very light stuff coming out of Casey County at this moment, rolling into northern portions of Pulaski, southern portions of Lincoln. Our temperatures actually drop as we go into the afternoon and off into the evening. It won't be a big drop during the afternoon. I would say northern Kentucky at 5 p.m., we're going to be sitting there in upper 50s. Go into the central zones, mid-60s, southern zones right around 70 degrees. So it all depends on where you are. Off toward the evening and into the nighttime hours, all that cool air swings on in here. And it's from this cold front that we're seeing back toward our west. It's almost all the way through. But today, remember, a few showers. They're kind of scattered out and about. Not everybody will see the rain. And if you do, it's going to be very light. None of this, no thunderstorm activity, none of this is very heavy rain. You won't get much out of that, but at least it's something, right? So the cold front pushes on through. We'll start to see that cooler air filter in overnight and into tomorrow morning. And on Friday, just because it's cooler doesn't mean it's cold. Still going to be average tomorrow, mid and maybe even some upper 60s for your Friday. So it looks really good there for Keeneland. Last Friday of Keeneland. Saturday is actually last day of Keeneland. Both of those days look phenomenal. The Thriller Parade going on there in Lexington on Saturday. 77 degrees as we go through your day. I mean, you're talking about some really warm air streaming on in here. Great for the parade. Parade kicks off at 8 p.m. and the Thriller part is actually at 8:30. So let's talk about your 7-day. Next couple of days, mid-60s. Like I said, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, those 3 days look really nice. The weekend's great. Halloween looks fine. It'll be mild. It'll be breezy. That's actually perfect weather for trick-or-treating. A lot of kids will be out and about there on Monday afternoon off into the evening hours trying to get a lot of that candy.
Yeah.
So there's some good news there for you. Good weather.
Reasonable to believe it'll be very busy because this is going to be a really
right.
terrific weather situation.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well, with Halloween just days away, some might still be struggling to come up with a costume idea. So how about being topical this Halloween?
Check out this one, a homemade costume poking a little fun at Samsung's massive Galaxy Note 7 recall. The embattled tech giant had to pull millions of those phones from the shelves following reported fire and explosion concerns. You remember some in Kentucky, one in Nicholasville. Well, one self-proclaimed Apple user decided to add insult to injury by pairing up his vaporizer with a bunch of Note 7 boxes and going viral to the tune of more than 4 million views and counting right now as a smoking Galaxy Note 7.
Wow, that's pretty. You know, as I see that smoke, though, I'm reminded of the hairspray that drifted your way at the top of the newscast. I was not trying.
Similar problem.
That was on mine. It was pointed this way, not that way. It wasn't intentional.
I know, but
you're okay now.
It went over your head.
A lot of things do, of course. Well, CBS rolls out its all-new Thursday night lineup tonight.
And a popular 70s pop band makes a big announcement. Here it is in your Eye on Entertainment.
ABBA is reuniting. The Swedish band is teaming up with the creator of American Idol for a new digital and virtual reality project. The experience is set to open in 2018. ABBA's hits include Dancing Queen and Mamma Mia.
It's a night of premieres on CBS. I caught up with the cast of the new sitcom, The Great Indoors.
Joel McHale stars as Jack, an adventure reporter in this new workplace comedy. Jack has been assigned to supervise a team of millennials, but he's having trouble connecting with them. Christopher Mintz-Plasse is one of McHale's coworkers.
It's a grand time. It's the craziest job. It's the best job in the world. You get to work with amazing, hilarious people and also super talented.
The Great Indoors follows The Big Bang Theory.
Are we here to save the world?
And stick around for the season premiere of the medical drama Pure Genius. Dermot Mulroney plays Dr. Walter Wallace, a highly respected surgeon. Dr. Wallace works for a billionaire boss who wants to solve the most challenging medical mysteries.
Sort of father-son, but reverse mentoring. And he's not a doctor, but, you know, thinks he knows how to fix people.
Pure Genius airs after Life in Pieces. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Coming next, families helping families crush hunger in the wake of a natural disaster.
How you can help God's Pantry Food Bank next on WKYT. Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $35 million, and Saturday's Powerball is $180 million.
Welcome back in. Great to have you here on WKYT this mid-morning. In the aftermath of a natural disaster like the recent hurricane, food banks play a big role in providing aid for those who are affected, and you can help out with those and locally as well.
To tell us more about it, we're joined by Rebecca Wallace, Development Director at God's Pantry Food Bank. Welcome. Glad to have you in here.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
It is interesting because, of course, we know that our local food banks generally are for folks in the region, and that's what you're working toward. But when we have a natural disaster in the country, everybody chips in.
That's right. You know, we're typically not first responders in a natural disaster, but there's often things that we can do. For example, in the most recent flooding and hurricanes down in Louisiana, there were food banks that were affected, and they were lost a lot of the food because of the flooding and power outages. So one of the things that food banks across the country do, and there are 200 food banks that work together as a part of Feeding America, is we'll send food down to our sister food banks to make sure they've got enough food to feed the people in their areas who weeks after and even months after disasters are still struggling.
It's a way to make a real difference. I'm sure they appreciate that help. What about here in Lexington, in this area? How big an issue is hunger, and what are you doing to help with that?
Well, hunger and food insecurity specifically are both very big issues. So we work every day. The reality is there are people in our community who are facing disaster of their own kind every single day. And so we work with our partner agencies across Central and Eastern Kentucky to get food out to them so that they are feeding families to alleviate some of the other pressures in their lives.
I know you are pushing toward a deadline and pushing toward a goal with this Families Helping Families Crush Hunger campaign.
That's right. This is a great partnership with Red Gold, primarily known for their tomatoes, and it's a national partnership. For every Red Gold product that you purchase, they will donate a meal to the local Feeding America food bank, and that's through the rest of this month. So we really want to beef that up a little bit in this area. Their goal is 1.7 meals donated across the country.
And of course, we are quickly approaching the holidays when you have a great need as well.
That's right. That's right. The holidays, you know, it's really the winter weather that makes it difficult for families. Yeah, so there's a lot of need.
Yeah, kind of all comes at once. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and hope everybody will keep God's Pantry in the back of their minds and help you when they can. Appreciate you coming.
Thanks for having me.
We'll keep it right here this mid-morning.
We're checking in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next, and we'll see what's cooking up here on this Thursday. Looks pretty savory. We'll be right back.
It's time to name a cheese of the month, and today we're celebrating Swiss cheese. It's similar to what they call Emmentaler in Switzerland. And besides the classic Swiss, there are a load of varieties like Nutty Gruyere that we often find on top of French onion soup. And let's not forget about the creamy baby Swiss and the lacy variety of Swiss, like Lorraine cheese, that we see at our deli. And if you've ever wondered where Swiss cheese gets its holes, you're not alone. It turns out that during the cheese-making process, gases are released that create bubbles that form the holes, or as cheesemakers call them, eyes. Believe it or not, the larger the holes, the bigger the flavor. Here's a ham casserole I threw together that's loaded with buttery egg noodles, a cream sauce, and a touch of sour cream. But to give this casserole its cheesy goodness, I'll sprinkle the top with a generous amount of Swiss cheese, and back into the oven it goes. Since Swiss is such a great melting cheese, this casserole will end up with a melty crust that really takes it over the top. Combine that with the ham and the creamy noodles, and it's the perfect combo. Once your family tastes this, I bet they'll ask for it again and again. So go online and get the recipe for our ham and Swiss bake. And if anyone asks where Swiss cheese gets its holes, now you know. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for a cheesier way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
We've got a few showers outside at this moment, sliding eastbound. You can see that in eastern Kentucky and southern Kentucky. Once this moves on out, cooler sweeps on in. We'll talk more about this at noon.
Yeah, we'll have the updated forecast and all the latest news at noon, and we hope you'll join us then.
Make it a great day, everybody.